Bobby Witt Jr. is the best all-around player in baseball, and it's not as much of a hot take as you think it is. He's better than Gunnar Henderson if you want to compare the two, and if he didn't play in such a small market like Kansas City, most Major League Baseball fans would realize how much of a perennial MVP candidate this guy is going to be from the start to the finish of his career. He had a chance to make history last night, but he was plunked in the sixth inning by Humberto Castellanos of the Arizona Diamondbacks. So we'll have that and much more on this episode of 3 Up, 3 Down. What's up, everybody? Welcome into 3 Up, 3 Down. I'm your host, Peter Vryonis. Today we're going to be talking about Bobby Witt Jr. and his chance at history last night against the Arizona Diamondbacks. He had an opportunity to hit for the cycle. He had a triple, he had a home run, and he had a double through 4 innings of last night's ball game against the D-backs. But unfortunately, he was plunked in the 6th inning by Humberto Castellanos, which drew a pretty big roar from the fans at Kauffman Stadium. And then he flew out in the final at-bat of his night. So, unfortunately, he didn't have the chance to make history. But Salvador Perez, the captain of the Kansas City Royals, got pretty fired up, and he was not happy that his star player was hit with the chance of making history last night. But before we get into the video, make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button as well, and give me your thoughts on my hot take that I had in the introduction of this video, that Bobby Witt Jr. is the best all-around player in baseball. I don't think it's a hot take. If you look at the numbers, they would back up that claim. And if you watch this guy play on a nightly basis, you would know how electric he is. And maybe the power numbers aren't as great as some guys like Gunnar Henderson, Aaron Judge, Shohei Ohtani, but he does everything else at an elite level. He's a 5-tool player, and Gunnar Henderson is too, but Bobby Witt Jr., I think he does those other things a lot better than Gunnar Henderson. So let me know what you think of that hot take. Are you going to cancel me for that? Are you no longer going to listen to my opinions? That's up to you guys, but I think it's a pretty valid opinion, being that Bobby Witt Jr. is the best all-around player in the game. But let's get into the video right here. Let's take a look at some of those numbers to back up my claims. This is Fangraphs WAR, which is the WAR that is usually the best measuring stick for the value of a player. Bobby Witt Jr., he leads marginally over Aaron Judge and Gunnar Henderson at a 6.7 after last night's ball game. And yeah, he's always in the lineup. He stays healthy, and his defense is miles better than everybody on this list, apart from maybe Francisco Lindor. So he's a fantastic player. Those numbers back it up as well, and he's so much fun to watch. I'm really glad that the Royals have locked him up for 11 years. He's only 24 years old. He's only going to keep getting better, and this season has really been a breakout for him. We saw flashes last year, but there were still some inconsistencies. The batting average was not great, and yeah, he finished with a 30-30 season, but you know, he started off really poorly, and if it wasn't for a great end to the year, then maybe his numbers wouldn't look so great on the surface. But let's just take a look at his stats for this season, and they're fantastic. You see the wins above replacement for Baseball Reference is 6.2. They use a different metric. I'm not really sure how they do that, but he's got a 341 batting average, which is just 0.02 points behind Stephen Kwan. 0.002 points behind Stephen Kwan of the Cleveland Guardians, who played a significant amount of less games this season. 69 RBIs, nice. 22 stolen bases and 18 home runs with an OPS of 979, which is also better than Gunnar Henderson's. And Henderson has a better slugging percentage. He hits more home runs, which is fine. But Bobby Witt Jr. is a generational talent, and it's about time that we started acknowledging that. So you just take a look at this. His home numbers as well. No one gives a better show to home fans than Bobby Witt Jr. to the Kansas City Royals faithful. He's got a 411 batting average, a 465 on base percentage, and a 743 slugging percentage in a very pitcher-friendly ballpark as well, I may add. And you see these numbers coming out of the All-Star break. Royals shortstop Bobby Witt Jr. has 4 straight three-hit games coming out of the All-Star break. He's gone 12 for 15, with 5 extra base hits, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, and 7 runs scored in that span. But he's pretty much 10-1 odds to win the MVP award. And I know that Aaron Judge is having a historic season, and he's going to hit a lot of home runs, and his WRC plus is over 200. But the defense and the base running, if it wasn't for this historic season that Aaron Judge is putting up, then Bobby Witt Jr. would be the clear front runner for the American League MVP award. And he's been getting disrespected all season long. He didn't start the All-Star game. I know that Gunnar Henderson is a darling of Major League Baseball. He's got amazing power. He's got this great hair. He has the look of a superstar, right? And he plays on an amazing team. He plays on the Baltimore Orioles, who are first place and who are true title contenders, whereas not many pundits feel that same way about the Kansas City Royals. So I understand that a lot of fans that don't get to watch the two on a regular basis may lean in the direction of Gunnar Henderson, but I'm a Bobby Witt Jr. guy all day long, and I think he deserves the praise. He's starting to get it. He's really starting to get mainstream media coverage, and I love it. I mean, Fox Sports' Nick Wright said yesterday that Bobby Witt Jr. is the best player in baseball, and he got flamed for it, and he's not too far off. I don't know how big of a baseball guy Nick Wright is, but I really think that Bobby Witt Jr. needs to be inserted into that conversation. And just look at his past 4 games. It's the tweet that I just showed you before. 3 hits on Friday, 3 hits on Saturday, 3 hits on Sunday, 3 hits tonight, which was yesterday against the Arizona Diamondbacks. And Bobby Witt Jr., single shy of the cycle on Monday, has surpassed Aaron Judge for the most valuable player in all of baseball. I don't have the play of Humberto Castellanos actually plunking Bobby Witt Jr., but you should have heard the Kansas City Royals fans. They were going nuts. They wanted to see their star player be able to hit for the cycle, and he did get another chance in the bottom of the 8th inning later in that game, but wasn't the same. You know, it felt like it had to happen right there, and all he needed was a single to push him over the top just a day after Yordan Alvarez hit for the cycle for the Houston Astros. So that would have been nice, back-to-back days with a cycle, and who better to do it than Bobby Witt Jr., one of the most electrifying players in baseball. If you didn't know the name before, you should know it now. And if you didn't give him the credit that he deserved before, you better start doing that, because he's going to be at the top of the MVP leaderboards for years to come. He is that talented, and it sucks that we didn't get to see him hit for the cycle last night. And I'm glad that Salvador Perez, the captain of the Royals, really stood up for his guy. And after the game, he said Bobby Witt Jr. is the best player I've ever played with. And that's saying something, because he has played with an amount of great players. He's played with Eric Hosmer. He's played with guys that have gotten MVP consideration: Alcides Escobar, Mike Moustakas, Alex Gordon. He's won a World Series. He's been on some great teams, and for him to go out and say that Bobby Witt Jr. has the potential to be the greatest Royal of all time, ahead of George Brett, I think that's really saying something about his character and the way that he conducts himself on the field. Bobby Witt Jr. may not be the captain of the Royals, but he is the leader by example of that organization, and he just does everything the right way. He's always in the lineup. I love this guy as a player, and I can't wait to see how the rest of his career unfolds. But thank you guys so much for making it this far. Thank you guys so much for the support that we've received on the previous video talking about the Baltimore Orioles, their interest in Tarek Skubal. And maybe I got some of you Oriole fans fired up after that introduction, saying that Bobby Witt Jr. is better than Gunnar Henderson. Let me know what you think. I think it's true. I don't even think it's particularly close, but it could be a hot take to some of you. Let me know if you disagree with it, or even if you agree with it. I'm more so expecting most people to disagree with that take, but hey, we all have our opinion, and we're all entitled to it. But that'll wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for making it this far. Make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button on your way out. Give me your comments on my thoughts in this video, and check out baseballtown.ca as well. They're a huge supporter of this channel. They allow this channel to keep going on a daily basis, and if it wasn't for them, I mean, I wouldn't have all the baseball equipment that I need as well. So if you need anything when it comes to baseball or softball equipment, check out baseballtown.ca. They got the best quality equipment at the most competitive prices, whether it's bats, batting gloves, cleats, or gloves. Check them out today to get geared up for the baseball season. But until tomorrow, enjoy the games, folks.